everybody, my name is Jeremy, this is Red Means Recording, and today I have a really fun video introducing you to the Dirtywave Mate Tracker. I've had this thing for a few months and have endeavored to try to write an entire album on it, which is in progress, but I wanted to make a video sooner rather than later so that all y'all could know a little bit about how it works, this little amazing one-person operation device, labor of love. And just sort of get you excited about how trackers work and what the possibilities are, because this thing is an entire music making machine in a tiny little package. It's the size of a phone, kind of like a big fat phone, size of a BlackBerry. It is just astounding. So like basically my philosophy with it has been, if I have time to play a video game or browse my phone, I play with the Mate instead, and I have been making all kinds of music on it. I don't want to give too much of that music away right now because I do intend on releasing an album, but I do want to show you how the Mate works and yeah, just kind of get you excited about it. A quick note about this product, it is being made by one person. It's a labor of love, made by a very talented individual who's been in this scene for a very long time. It's subject to the same global part shortage kind of stuff that all the other projects in the entire world are kind of dealing with right now. And the reason I'm telling you this is because he's been working on like pre-order systems and trying to get supply and demand worked out. So at the time of this video going up, there may or may not be inventory, but I urge you, please don't like pay scalpers for it. Tim is working as hard as he can to get these out to people. And I just want you to support the actual creator. Don't pay scalping prices. I promise you that this will be available and you should get it from the source because the price for it from the source is really fantastic. So that's my spiel. With that said, let's check out the Mate Tracker. So hi everybody, this is the Mate. You can see that I'm holding it, and that's because it really is made to be used in this manner. So hopefully this isn't too distracting for me holding it, because this is how I'm able to move around really quick on it. I have a sort of a sense memory with it. And that'll happen with trackers. You'll just sort of like start off a little unsure of where you're going, and eventually you'll just be flying around like it's Tetris or something. So this is the hardware. It is machined metal with these wonderful mechanical keyboard keycaps here. I know people have been switching these out for their own stuff. We have an SD card, micro SD card right here. I'm very happy to say that this thing appears to be able to accept both exFAT and FAT32 cards. I have a 64 gigabyte exFAT in there right now. I put that in there last night after running out of space for samples. So let's go ahead and make a new project. Yeah, we'll lose changes. Okay, so this is the main screen that you're going to be faced with. This is where we start making our song. And the way trackers work is everything kind of moves down. We have 8 tracks to work with, and each one of those can have all kinds of stuff in it at one time. There's a structure to this. The first is the song. So we need to make what's called a chain here in order to move forward. Now, what you'll find is that you'll probably want a chain with nothing in it so that you can sort of have spacers later. So what I like to do is like go over here. I'll make a chain in the very last position, which is FE. And it's all hexadecimal, by the way. And then I'll come in here to the chain section. Now, each one of these is a phrase. This is basically where we start chaining patterns within here, which is why it's called a chain. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a phrase called FE 4 times in here. That's basically 4 bars, and that's kind of the quantization level I work in terms of the tracker stuff. I always just kind of have these 4-bar chunks. So I'm going to go into FE for right now and just drop a nothing. And I'll tell you about this in just a second. So now that we have a blank sort of spacer pattern over there, let's go into our first main chain and main phrase and make something. I'm on 01. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go 01, 01, 01, 01, do, do, do. So that's 4 of the same phrase. I'm going to go into here. And now I can put in a note and choose what's called an instrument. So you see how we're drilling down from song into chain, into phrase, into instrument. So instrument 01. What are we going to do with this? Well, we have a few options. So if we hit edit and forward and backwards, and that's basically how you do almost everything in here. You hold down edit and then move the keys here. The shortcuts are very intuitive, and that's why, again, why I'm holding it, because it's just so intuitive to use once you are comfortable with how the shortcuts work. It really does feel like you're just like zipping around. So I need to make an instrument. We have a couple things to choose from as of the time of this recording. Wave synth, which is kind of like a, let me go ahead and actually make a little phrase. So you can see I'm holding down on this and hitting edit, holding down edit, and using the arrows. And now we have a little phrase. That will repeat 4 times in here. So now that we have an instrument, we can go into here and play with this. So wave synth is kind of like a chiptune synth. So if you ever wanted to make straight up chiptune, you can go with the wave synth. Each instrument has another page that I'll show you real quick. We'll get back to it. I'm going to hit Shift up, and now I have all this stuff like envelopes. So for instance, if I wanted this to have a volume envelope, I could send envelope 1 to volume. What if I wanted to send envelope 2 to something? Well, I can do that too. Let's go ahead and instead send an LFO to that. Pretty cool, right? And this can go to pan as well. Yeah, this thing is stereo, including being able to play stereo samples back. And I've been using this primarily to play samples back, and it has no issue playing back 8 channels of stems. It's really cool. So the wave synth is your little chiptune synth. Let's go ahead and hit up to here. Next up, yes, is macro synth. Now this is cool as hell because this is Mutable Instruments braids. This is what I use mostly to make synth sounds in here, and it's really powerful. There's all kinds of really cool sounds in here. So here's one of my favorite ones in braids, Mutable Instruments braids. So if I go over to here, I'll switch this to volume, and I'll switch this to timbre. Isn't that cool? Real quick, let's go ahead and add some effects to this. So I'll go back into the main instrument page, and these are going to get reset if I switch the instrument, but I want to add some. So chorus, delay, and reverb, which is really good sounding actually. And all of these can be edited. See this little menu thing down here on the bottom right? This is telling you where you are right now. So if I go like this, I will find eventually the effects. So I'll go down one more, and this is where we edit all of our effects. So for instance, I can make this forever. I can change the all kinds of stuff for all the effects. So very, very good sounding. And you can just hear already what kind of life this has added to the thing, which is really nice. So you get braids in here. Next up is sampler. Where's the, oh yeah, let's talk about the FM synth first. This is a fully fledged 4-op FM synthesizer, which is incredible. If I go to load here, I can actually load an instrument that's already like a preset, meaning once you've saved settings, you can save them as an instrument. And we have all kinds of stuff in here. Yeah. Including some stuff that's made from drums. So either through the FM synth or the macro synth, we can get those classic sort of synth drum sounds, which is really cool. So this is all just the internal synth engine so far. Let's talk about the sampler. I'm going to go into my packs and let's see, what do I have? Maybe something from Intimate Noise. Yeah, here we go. So this is a sample, and there's lots you can do in the sampler, including slicing and all kinds of other shit. I'll show you slicing in just a second once we get this set up. So you can see our slice control here. We can play it backwards, and we can actually change all of this stuff on the fly. That's the other part about this stuff, is that we can actually sequence all of these effects and parameters in here in some pretty amazing ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the start point a little bit, some decay, some reverb. Okay, now let's go back to the sequencer. So let's play with these three effect things here. These are going to be things that will allow you to affect every single step in a variety of ways. So for instance, If I hit up here, these are all the commands that we can sequence. And I'm not going to show you every single one. In fact, there's a lot about the mate that I'm not going to show you today. It's very deep, and especially considering that you can do so much with this thing, it is what it is. So I'm going to show you what I think you might want to know to get started. So here's that start point. We can actually manipulate this. Now, this is all well and good, but one of the really cool things is that you can actually, watch this. If you've set a command right here, if you go into here, you can find random. This will randomize the previous command. So you can just create probabilistic start points. Pretty cool, right? Let's do one of my other favorite ones. Where's ratchet? Ooh, slide. This one's good too. And then finally, maybe some ratcheting. So you can already hear that we've turned our phrase into something a bit more interesting, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually make... Let's see if I remember how to do this. It's like clone phrase 1 to 2. So there's all kinds of shortcuts to make it easy to create variations. So now I have a 4-phrase variation here, a 4-phrase chain. So I can come in here and make some note changes if I want. And then to this one. And this is kind of how I think about my compositions and trackers is I make a base pattern, and then I go in and I make variations. So now we can hear this all together. Oh, look, you can see the start point animating there. It's really cool. I'm going to turn the filter on this to low pass. Come back in here and set this envelope to cutoff. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So we have our first little product. Back to the song right here. So I'm going to hit double edit, and it's going to give me the next available, chain. And then come in here and double, and it's going to give me the next available chain here. So we'll just do 4 4s. I'm going to show you drum slicing real quick. So you have to change the instrument now, because this is the first instrument that we made, right? So it's just over to 2. Now we can add like some drums to mess with. So I'm going to add a drum loop real quick. Load. And, not load. I don't want to load an instrument. I want to go straight to sampler, and I want to load, and I want to go to my packs, and we're at 120. So let's see. I will find a loop to play with. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so if I just put a note here, we want to talk about slicing. So what's going to happen when I turn slice on is that it's just going to stop. I can choose how many slices I want. In this case, I think we're going to do 16. And you can hear that it no longer is playing. And that's because now the note number is the slice. Actually, sounds like we want 32. Yeah, there we go. I think we need some more volume. I'm going to go up to our mixer, or down to our mixer, and I'm going to turn up the limiter. Yeah, a little pump, right? All right, let's add some percussion. So I'm going to double click edit so I can add a new blank chain. Come in here and double click here. So 6666, the mark of the beast. That is not the right empty one. Give me the empty one. There we go, 7. So let's do some sliced percussion. I need a new instrument. So instrument 3. Oh, you know what we can do with this one? Let's do a synth line. So option, I'm going to switch this to macro synth and then switch this over to, I think that's what we want. Yeah, symbol. Okay, let's get a pattern going. Let's go ahead and edit all of these up as far as we can go. There we go. Okay. Now we'll go in here and hit play. And we need, obviously, there we go. Let's keep on editing. Now, I would like this to shuffle because we actually have some shuffle in our, what do you call it, in our drum pattern. So that's where we go for groove. I need to find groove. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so this is a little confusing to explain, but basically this is, and you can have multiple groove tables, by the way, multiple versions of this, but I'm going to be able to create groove by changing the underlying sort of speed of each tick, which is like one of these steps here. Excuse me, it's actually a step, not tick. But now you can hear that we're swinging. So swing is very possible, and in fact, you can do all kinds of really crazy groove stuff via this. I don't know, did I get that wrong? Is it supposed to be... I think it's supposed to be 8/4. Oh, there we go. My bad. Let's go ahead and give this some effects. Perfect. That's cool. Okay, let's add a bass line. So double click, and then we'll go over to this and double click. 8888 for right now. And let's go ahead and use the macro synth again. So useful to have in here. It's wild. We need to create a new instrument, and we will go and let's go ahead and program a line real quick. So we'll just leave that one note in there, C3, then we might want to go down to 2 for right now. We'll make it the macro synth. There's a really great one in here for, yeah, I think it's sine triangle for like deep basses. Ooh, buzz is nice too, though. Oh, that's cool. I like that. All right, so let's make a little sequence out of this. Okay, we're going to want to add some volume envelope to this. But we want the decay to be much longer. Yeah, there we go. Let's go back to our instrument. Some chorus. Oh, that sounds great. Okay, so I'm actually going to come over to this FE pattern, and I'm going to give us a real, what do you call it? A real kick to go with this. So we want 6, which is our next blank pattern. Hey, get out of here. I like that one. That's nice and burly. Okay, a little bit of amp. Let's see how that sounds. Good. I'm going to come back to our drum loop, which I believe is here. And I'm going to add a high pass filter. Cool. And actually, let's go to our hi-hat channel, which is here. And we're going to add a clap into here. That's the thing. You can have multiple instruments in a phrase. So we'll put it right here. Claps and snaps. Well, I kind of like that. Yeah, that's good. So we're going to copy this. We can do that like that. And then we're going to come down to here. So our limiter's hitting a bit hard. We'll come back down to here. Turn this down. There we go. That sounds good. Okay, so let's add one more thing. I'm going to come into here, and I'm going to go into this. We want 7. Let's do some vocals, because we can. Boop, boop, boop. C sharp major. Okay, that's fine. We will detune it. 1.
Still remember.
Okay, that's not a very good vocal sample. Let's go ahead and change it. That's how I compose on the Mate. I start off with a single song channel here, and I start to get a groove built up. Once I have something I really like, I start making adjustments. And the way that I do that usually is I will copy this whole thing and I'll put it down here, because what this means now is these are like little isolated bits. They will not continue to play. So you can make these little islands of like section, and then when you are ready to start building your song, you just get rid of the spaces and start mixing and matching patterns. So for instance, if I wanted this one to be, let's see, where is our drums? Is this it? Yeah, this is it. So if I wanted a new drum pattern, I could come in here and change this. Let's just go ahead and make this phrase. Cool. And then this one. Okay, let's check that out. So for instance, if I wanted to make our vocal thing here a different thing, I could make a new chain and I could make a new series of phrases. New instrument. So let's do that real quick and then we'll be done. Don't want this video to be too long. I just wanted to get you excited about the Mate. All right, everybody. That's my little brief introduction to the Mate. This thing is very deep. There are a lot of people that are much more talented using it than I am, but I thought it was really cool. I'm really enjoying making music on it. If you can spend time playing on your phone or playing on like a Switch or a Game Boy, you could be making music. And that's how I've been, sort of hyping myself up to like get excited about making music again. And it really has worked fantastically for that. So, like I said, labor of love from a very talented individual who's been in the tracker scene for a very long time. This thing it's fun. Like, that's it. Go check out the link in the description if you are interested in this. Don't pay scalpers for them. Just let's obliterate scalpers in general. They freaking suck. Go Google for the Mate. There's so many people making great stuff on here. Trackers have a long legacy of being very, very instrumental in music stuff. So with that said, my name is Jeremy. This is Red Means Recording, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
I'm gonna get up in the morning, I'm gonna lay back down. Well, the blues